hovered between them and eventually leaned against the wall. It was an awkward place to be, having nowhere to sit in my own room. There were things lying around, open books and magazines, tapes without their cases, dirty clothes. It didn't matter for Chloe, but now when I was here, the place looked shabby and uncared for. She gathered the pages of a tattered copy of Sugar and laid it on my desk. "What is it?" I said, half impatiently. I looked at Emma, who shook her head. "Let's tell you yourself," she said. "Give me a minute," Chloe said, and patted her chest with the flat of her hand. I saw that she was pleased with herself, smiling, showing all the other signs she was carrying a secret she could not wait to be rid of, something confidential that she was desperate for me to ask her about. "I knew I was coming round to yours," she said, "so I decided to set off early and look. I couldn't remember if I was still grounded or not, and if I'd asked for a lift or some money, it reminded them. So I just came out the back way." "What happened?" I said. I knew the part I was supposed to play. She fed me my lines and I cooperated, half amused at the state of her and more curious than I wanted to be. "Did they catch you?" "You won't believe it," she said, and laughed helplessly. Emma was smiling. Let me get a grip on myself. It was a short walk between Chloe's house and mine. 2 or 3 miles down a long road studded with bus stops and pelican crossings, sandwich shops and chemists and newsagents, dry cleaners, a laundrette, a few estate agents. I lived in a quiet, poky row of terraces in a warrior street just like mine at the bottom. Chloe lived in a 1930s style semi-detached house opposite a tiny Catholic primary school and a few minutes walk away from the leisure centre. The walk might have taken her half an hour, but today, Chloe said, she'd taken a detour that involved walking along the river, over a tram bridge and through Avon Park. She'd have come out of the park at the end of a long street about 15 minutes walk from my house and added an hour onto her journey. "Why did you take the long way around?" I said. "It was something we did sometimes, for fun, or to kill time, but not unless we really couldn't think of anything else to do, and I'll be there since the summer." "I wanted to smoke," Chloe replied. "I was only going to march down the hill with a fag hanging out my mouth, was I?" "Long way to go for a fag," I said, and Chloe shrugged. "Walking's good for you. You should try it. Next time you feel like a plate of chips, you fuck it. Fuck off." Chloe gave her a finger. She was wearing pink frosted nail polish and Emma tittered. "It's not that far," she chipped in. "Not if you fit. I thought that way loads of times." I tried to stare at Emma coolly, keeping my eyes steady and without moving my mouth at all. She was wearing makeup, loads of it, and I'd never seen her that way before. The thick mascara and brown eyeshadow made her look ill and bruised. Her lips were bare apart from the red pigment that had collected at the corners of her mouth. "Not to my house, you haven't," I said. Chloe broke in. "I was walking along that big line of trees to the side of the river. You know the path that goes down the bandstand, yeah? I was going along there and I heard something crackle. I thought it was a bird or a squirrel or something. I took my headphones off. She was still wearing them around her neck, the wire snaking down under her cardigan to the black box at the waistband of her jeans. And I carry on walking. I'm not scared of anything. It isn't like it's the middle of the night, right?" "All right," I said. Her eyes were bright and wet with amusement. "This guy steps out from the bushes." She laughed again, a strange, sobbing sound. "He didn't jump out or shout or anything, just stepped out. If I hadn't heard the crackle first, and I heard that because my tent was between tracks, I probably wouldn't have noticed him. But I did notice him just step out. But you know what the first thing I noticed was?" "What?" I said. "He was wearing a mask." She paused and leaned forward. "And that's not even the worst thing. I imagine the man in the cape from the Phantom of the Opera." "What sort of mask?" "Halloween." She waved her hands around her face. "Bright green, flat head, bolts. What did you say it was, Emma?" "Frankenstein," Emma said quietly. "Frankenstein's monster, actually. whatever. He had a mask on. Every spa in the city is selling them. Brown hair poking out the top, jeans, boots, nothing special. I was getting impatient. You tell her this bit, Em, Chloe said. Well, she started. Maybe she was feeling shy because Chloe and I were staring at her so hard. He come out from the bushes wearing his mask and Chloe stopped and stared at him like you would, you know. And then he gets a bit closer to her and says, trick or treat. And Chloe, she says, are you not a bit old for that? Still walking over to him because she's convinced it's someone that she knows. One of the kids is, Chloe interrupted, pissing about. Yeah, but it wasn't, Emma said. She didn't look at me and spoke too quickly, the words running into each other as the blush spread up the sides of her neck. Because when she got right close to him, he opened front of his jeans and showed her his cock. Chloe leaned over her knees and sobbed with laughter. Right out there, she said. Right in the park. He was just hanging out. Emma nodded. Just lying there, like he expected me to do something with it. Why did he do that? Do you know why they do that? Why they get cheap bills from doing that? I mean, it wasn't a big deal to me. What did it look like? I said. Just like you'd expect. She said, only bigger. She stood up. It was massive. What did you do? I told him, she said lightly. Told him it just looked like a cock, only smaller. Then I kicked a pile of leaves at him and walked out the other way. She winked, stagedly. Did you see this? Emma was sitting on the bed, her hands pressed together and held between her knees. She jumped, as if she wasn't expecting to be spoken to. No, Chloe said quickly. I ran into Emma afterwards. And was it... You know, Chloe grinned. Was it what? Erect. I was whispering. Chloe fell back over her knees and howled with laughter. Even Emma cackled. You perv, she squealed. I moved towards the desk, hurt. She tell the police. I said, it's that best, isn't it? He didn't try anything, Emma said. She had her hair up too. Something complicated with curly grips and half a tin of Elmet. When she moved her head, her fringe stayed flat and stiff over her forehead. What was she doing dressed up like that and wandering around the park on her own? No, I'm not going to bother. Chloe went and sat next to Emma. The divan rocked on its wheels. He probably expected me to scream or something, but I never. It was hilarious. What did he do? How did you get rid of him? Chloe glanced at Emma. He just went away, back into the bushes. I didn't follow him. Just put my earphones in and carried on walking. Pig. She was never going to chase after him, was she? Emma said, asking for a second helping. I looked at Chloe. It was that best. Probably. They're appealing. Any information? They said the smallest detail could be the key that unlocks the whole case. Chloe laughed. It was a pretty big detail. She didn't really get a good look at him. Not even what he was wearing, Emma said. She could give a description anyway, I said to Emma. What of? A mask? There's been nothing about a mask on the newspapers. Gordon's never said anything about a mask, Chloe said. Well, that proves it, I said. They do that all the time. Keep one detail back so that they can tell if someone calls in with a hoax. That's how they know you're telling the truth. It's too weird to make up. She doesn't want to go to the police, Emma said. She's already said that. It's my room, thanks, Emma, I said. And I'm not forcing her to do anything, am I? Just saying that they're trying to catch this weirdo. If you know something and don't say it, you can get yourself into trouble. Barbara says they progress from one thing to another. He'll be dragging girls into cars if he's not caught. No one's saying anything, Chloe said. If I tell Amanda about this, she'll never let me out of the house again. None of us will get out this side of Christmas. Is that what you want? If they catch him, she'll let you out. And if he did go to the police, I paused just for effect.